Good morning. Welcome to Wicked Recovery. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you're here. According to my sobriety tracker on my phone, I have been sober now for 6 months and 5 days. Whoa. I have to say, I am getting extremely close to my all-time record of I think 6 months and 2 weeks or something from a few years ago, several years ago. And that actually sort of brings me to my topic today. My topic is a little disjointed, but then again, what else would you expect from me? One of the things I wanted to touch on is noticing patterns. I have shared with you previously that during many of my failed attempts at sobriety, I would make it a couple weeks and then have a fuck it moment and cave and go back to my bad habits for another year or so. And it wasn't until this time that I actually went back and looked at where I had written about it and tracked it in the past, and it always hit around day 17 that I would cave. So I might be going strong for a week and then iffy for the second week, and then 3 days into the third week, that was my wall. And I noticed that. So this time around, on day 17, I was like, how about that? Got through it. And now we're at 6 months. I hit my 6-month mark on the 1st of February, and I have to tell you, the past few days to a week, it's not that I've been tempted, but I kind of have. It has crossed my mind a couple times. Like, I don't really think about alcohol much. I'm so thankful to say that, yes, I fully admit and know that I'm an addict and an alcoholic, but I'm glad it doesn't monopolize my brain and my headspace every day. But it's actually no real surprise. It's gotten a little tough lately because it's been really negative at work. And I'm not gonna get political at all, other than to say it started literally like the day Trump took office. My school has been a cesspool of negativity, fighting. The kids who, my students are great, but the school at large has a lot of very thuggy behavior, I hate to say. Just a level of negativity and violence that I've never experienced in my 19 years of teaching. And I've been in lots of different types of environments and socioeconomic places. But anyway, pretty much from the day Trump took office, that was a Friday, we came back to school on Monday, and it's been a shitstorm ever since. And so in a way, it's not a huge surprise that I've been feeling boozy, because I haven't felt this kind of stress and dread at work at all this school year, thankfully, until now. And my response, my way of handling shitstorms usually is to say, fuck it, I'm gonna drink. And that's not my plan of action these days. This last week, since I've hit 6 months, it's kind of been kicking in a little bit. It's been a little tough. However, I'm going to bring that back around to talking about patterns. When I got 6 months of sobriety years ago, however many years ago that was, around the 6-month time, actually, it's funny, it was in June. I got out of school. It might have been the first day of summer. So I didn't even have stress. I fell into the, I got this, oh, I'm not an alcoholic. I didn't understand the science back then. I had no idea that the alcoholic mind, the way it lies to you in your own voice, and those thoughts you have aren't even you. They're not even your brain having the thoughts. I didn't know any of this. I went to some AA meetings, but I didn't go enough to really, for it to sink in. And so around June 18th of that year, whenever it was, I said, I'm clearly not an alcoholic, or I wouldn't have been able to just go 6 months without booze. So I'm gonna drink. Yay! I'm so glad I'm not an alcoholic. I think knowledge, understanding addiction more, and taking all of these lessons that I've gotten from Recovery Elevator, especially, and from some of the memoirs I've listened to on Audible, I now know better. So now when I'm faced with those urges, I'm more equipped to handle it. Doesn't mean I'm going to handle it. Doesn't mean I got this. It just means I can recognize it for what it is. And yet I still see a pattern. I made it through the 17-day marker, and now apparently there's a 6-month marker I didn't know about, because this is only the second time I've been here. Who knows what the future marker would be? I hope I won't ever have to make a pattern in the future or discover a pattern. I hope I can just stick with this and continue to be successful. So that was one of my ideas for today. My other idea for today, now that I have been kind of grappling a little bit with just the feelings, and again, I don't have the craving for the alcohol. I have the craving for the release of not feeling like me. I think that's my neighbor behind me. Is that her? Yeah. Hi. See this lady behind me? She's one of my BFFs. She knows it's me because I'm the only one in a super cute little blue car like this. Okay. Anyway, she's too busy on her phone. My second thing I was going to talk about before I got distracted by my BFF. Hello. Hello. There she goes. She waved. Is similar to last week's. I think it was last week's when I talked about stepping out of your comfort zone. I've been craving an altered consciousness feeling and just an escape from the minutia and the negativity and the bullshit of life. But since there is nothing that I know of really that's going to give me that relief, because hot tea ain't doing it, I participated in something yesterday. I actually made a video about it yesterday on my other channel, Athena Beth Black. I went to a drumming circle. This one was called Heart-Centered Drumming Circle. And long story short, if you're interested, you can watch the video. If I think about it, I'll link it below. But it's just a little 4-minute before and after reflection with a little bit from during. And something about the rhythmic drumming and chanting and closing your eyes and letting go. It was good. It took me out of my head and it raised me up to a place that gave me that buzz, but it was a whole different kind of buzz. Obviously, it was a spiritual buzz. I'm thinking about buying myself a drum. I almost bought one yesterday. They had some there. They're about, the one I almost bought was about $115. I'm probably gonna buy one soon. The thing is, I don't really have a ton of extra dough, laying around, especially now that I'm driving this super cute little new car I have. That's like a $480 a month I didn't used to have to spend. But at the same time, one cool thing about that sobriety tracker is it tells you how many calories you've saved. It also tells you how much money you've saved, and I've already forgotten what it was, but I'm thinking it was between $3,000 and $4,000 just in those 6 months, which actually that didn't surprise me. I feel like it should probably be more, but I always, when I'm doing counters and things like that, calories and money, I always go lower than, or higher for calories and lower for money, so I'm not overinflating my success. So I definitely drank the cheap bottles of wine. I didn't get the box wines, never went that far, although I wasn't above doing something like that. I just liked the barefoot, the giant jumbo size barefoot wine. And I drank a couple of those a week. Probably more than a couple. Realistically, 3 or 4 a week. Sometimes I drank one in a day, which I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot. Of those $4,000 maybe $3,000 to $4,000 I have not spent on booze, allowing myself to buy a drum to elevate me out of my headspace and to get me into another place might be worth it. It's pretty cool. So this is now 12 minutes long, just about. I will edit out some of my long pauses and distractions, but this one is pretty scattered, and I apologize. I don't have any book recommendations right now as far as sobriety. I will tell you, I have been enjoying the hell out of listening to Harry Potter. Just finished book 5. I read the first 4 books, physically read them like 8 years ago, and then stopped reading pretty much except for school stuff. And so now I do Audible, and the narrator for Harry Potter stuff, at least for the 5th one and the 6th one, because I heard a preview, he's good. So that's another happy little escape, the world of magic and fiction. Although anybody who knows anything knows that magic isn't fiction. All right, thank you guys, and have a lovely week. I hope to see you again next week. Take care. Peace.